In the aftermath of Helene, Duke Energy crews have been trying to restore power quickly in the Carolinas.
The lights are back on in a lot of communities tonight, except in the North Carolina mountains, where substations look a lot like this, covered in mud and water. Duke Energy tells Channel 9's climate reporter Michelle Alfini that it hopes to restore much of that power by Friday, but the full recovery is a long ways away.
Now that the high water is receding, Duke Energy spokesperson Jeff Brooks says crews are just starting to see the extent of the damage out west.
Well, we look at the remaining outages that we're dealing with, which are significant. About 50% of those are going to be rebuild, reconstruct, as opposed to repair.
This is a substation. It's a critical part of the electric grid infrastructure that takes high voltage power that's traveled for miles and converts it into something that we can use in our neighborhoods. In western North Carolina, many of these have been underwater for days, and Duke Energy says many have irreparable damage.
In a few cases, we have to reconstruct those stations.
Brooks says Duke Energy is bringing in mobile substations as temporary fixes, while they focus on repairing what they can.
We're looking for ways to reroute power to other lines and tie together lines that we can then supply an area that otherwise wouldn't get power until the full job is done.
But much of the region is still inaccessible.
In one case, we're working on a substation where we're going to build a temporary substation equipment there, but we have to rebuild the road just to get that equipment there.
Brooks says getting the lights back on is just the first step.
Trying to get water, trying to get the basic supplies. Power is at the core of a lot of that.
From there, it's hard to say how long a full rebuild and recovery could take.
But if you look at those areas, there's not a lot of equipment left in some of those stations.
Michelle Alfini, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Again, Duke Energy says they hope to have much of the power restored in the upstate and mountain regions by this Friday, but they say the most remote areas and hard-hit locations like Chimney Rock, that will likely take much longer.